Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're stepping outside of our own way of seeing things to explore a worldview where community, well, it's pretty much everything. And our guide on this journey is Nigeria, where these really deep cultural values shape it all, from how you build a business to how you care for your family. You ready? Let's dive in. You might have heard this African proverb before, but it is so powerful, and it's really our theme for today. It's this perfect reminder that the story you hear depends completely on who's telling it. For a long, long time, a lot of stories about Africa have been told from that hunter's perspective, from the outside looking in. So that's the big question, isn't it? What happens when the lion finally picks up the pen and tells their own story? That is exactly what we are here to find out. We're going to explore a way of seeing the world where the community, not the individual, is at the absolute heart of it all. To really get this, we have to start at square one, with the most basic question of all. What does it actually mean to be a person? Now, for the Yoruba people of Nigeria, the answer is it's radically different from the very individualistic view that many of us grew up with. See, in the Yoruba worldview, being a person isn't just a given. It's not just a biological fact. It's an achievement. You become an onyan by being a responsible, reliable part of your community. It's a status you earn through your actions, not something you're just born with. Think about that for a second. So how is an inyan made? Well, the Yoruba see a person as this incredible combination of three interconnected parts. You've got the ara, which is your physical body. Then there's the ori, your inner head, which kind of holds your unique destiny. And finally, the emi, the soul or the divine breath of life. And here's the key. All three have to be in harmony. This really pulls it all together. A person is a whole, a tapestry woven from these physical, spiritual, and, crucially, communal threads. Now, this one foundational belief, it changes absolutely everything. Let's see how it totally reshapes something like the world of work. Okay, so if a person is defined by what they give back to the community, what in the world does that mean for business? How does that change the entire reason for starting a company in the first place? Well, the difference is just night and day. On one hand, you have the conventional model many of us know, where the main goal is often maximizing profit for an individual or for shareholders. But on the other hand, you have this Nigerian approach, where the number one goal is to create social value and lift up the whole community. And this isn't just a theory, right? When researchers actually studied women social entrepreneurs in Nigeria, this is exactly what they found. It was a direct reflection of this worldview. These women weren't just building businesses. They were living out their role as inyan. They were driven by the needs they saw around them, and they defined success by the well-being of everybody. And it's not some isolated thing. As this quote points out, this way of thinking is woven deep into the culture. Entrepreneurship here isn't just about making money. It's an expression of community. It's a way to strengthen those social bonds through business. All right, so we've seen how this plays out in the marketplace. Now let's shift gears to an experience that really touches families everywhere, caring for a loved one with dementia. We're about to see how this exact same communal spirit creates a profoundly different way of approaching health and healing. The first thing to get is that, in this worldview, memory loss isn't seen as just a medical problem to be solved. It's way more complex. It's viewed through spiritual, cultural, and communal lenses all at the same time. And that means there's no single straight line to getting help. Instead of a straight line, families navigate this fluid, incredible network of support. Yeah, they might go to the hospital, but they also consult faith healers, traditional healers, and community elders. The key thing is that they move between all these different sources, weaving together this web of care that looks after the physical, the spiritual, and the social parts of what's happening. And you can really feel why this network is so vital when you hear from caregivers themselves. This is from a daughter-in-law named Fumalayo. You can just hear her frustration with the formal medical system. She feels like there's no solution there. She feels lost, unsupported, without that consistent relationship. But then contrast that with this quote from Mama Mustafa. It's a totally different experience. For her, the faith community is providing exactly what was missing. It's offering spiritual answers and prayer, which is huge. But it's also practical, tangible support. People are showing up. They're bringing food. This is the community in action, wrapping its arms around the family. And there's actually a Yoruba word that just perfectly captures this whole principle. Ajoshe. It means communal interdependence. It's this core belief that your health and your well-being, they aren't just your private struggles. They are our shared responsibilities. That is the cultural bedrock for this whole web of care. So, after looking at business and healthcare through this completely different lens, what are the big takeaways? What can we learn from this really powerful way of seeing the world? Let's just run through the key insights here. First, this idea that a person is defined by what they give back. Second, that success can be measured by the health of the whole group, not just the bank account of one person. Third, that care is a messy, beautiful web, not a straight line. And maybe the biggest lesson of all, that our default way of seeing the world, it's just one way. It is not the only way. And that really leads us to one final challenging question. What if we tried to look at our own communities through this lens of interdependence? What would we change? What could we build? And how could we care for each other if we truly believed we were all in it together? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for exploring this with me.